Hello again, everybody. Frankie Day here on YouTube. Okay, fellas, this is video number 2 for Monday. I purchased these last Friday, and I went down and see Russ down there at Smitty's hobby shop to say hey and see what's shaking in there, and he had a lot of stuff shaking in that place. He had some nice looking kits and models there, so I went and bought a few there. And I said, what the hell, it's Christmas coming up, so I went down there and I purchased me 4 kits. And these may be winter builds, or maybe builds down the line, or maybe just builds just to break up board and working on one kit. But any case, these will be built. Now I'll tell you one thing, fellas. I mean, tell you, I really I got some good stuff right here that I got, and we're going to start out with oldies but goodies. We're going to start out with stuff that was going around when I was a kid. And I got 2 kits that I bought there made back in 1945. I was 5 years old back then. I remember seeing these kids at the hobby shop, and they retailed at 15 cents. And I will show them to you. So the video for this evening, fellas, is going to be winter builds, 4 more for the stash pile. And we're going to start out with these 2 classic oldies but goodies. It's going to be a special treat for all you great fellows out there in YouTube land. And it's been a very, very good treat for me too, because it takes me back to boyhood. And like I say, when I was a little kid, you know, back in the 40s, there was hardly any plastic models around. Mostly it was just balsa wood. And that's probably about it, you know. But these 2 kits are by Monogram, and introducing these 2 kits, I'm going to turn around and take them out of my stash over here. Okay, guys. Now I got a deal of the century with these things. I went back and seen Russ, and Russ says, Frank, I got some oldies but goodies stuff for you. I found these down below in the basement. And so he came out and showed them to me. And I said, man, how much stuff is down there? And he says, well, when Don passed away, he left the stash down there. I found another bedroom, another room down below in the basement that was been locked up for years. I had no idea what was in it, so I was kind of curious to go in there and find out what it is. So since Don passed away and everything, I don't think Don would mind. Maybe just nose around, opened up, there was another room stashed full of old kits. So he had a lot of places where he was stashing them at. And so 2 of these were in the stash pile, what I'm going to show you right now. Now, fellas, I think I paid $14.95 a piece for these. And these things are worth a lot of money. I mean, I seen a couple of them on eBay once in a while. I think it was a Battleship North Carolina or something like that. And they wanted 80 bucks for it. And I seen that and said, man, that's an old one right there, you know, and that's sure a lot of money for those things. Heck with that, you know. So it was my day. I went to the hobby shop last Saturday. I was going to go down there and get some more model paint, and so I ran into coming back with 4 kits. Okay, guys, we're going to start out with this here. Now, right here, this is an old Monogram kit, and you guys probably seen it before. This is a 1945 kit of the USS Hobby, which is a Benson class destroyer. Benson class destroyers, they got away from the flush deck all the way up to the 21-ton destroyer. And what they did, they more or less made a hopper deck up to it, like a broken deck like that of the Year Zone, like the old battleships in Pearl Harbor. And you can see pretty much what I was talking about. You take a look at the hull, there you can see how when it goes up, it comes back up this way and goes straight. So and in its contents, this kit here is all solid balsa. And starting out with the plans, fellas. Oh, there's 1 sheet of plans they give you. Excuse me. And there's 1 sheet of plans. This is what you get. I don't know how clear this camera's going to pick this up, but maybe you fellas will get a basic understanding. You can see the full size of the model is about 16 inches long. It's a Benson class destroyer, and some kind of odd scale that they used. And You can see it pretty good there, fellas. In spite of the instructions is more or less they give you 10 plates with the kit. Now this is Monogram, fellas. This is the good folks of Monogram. This is in the infancy of their company, and in the box, these are all balsa. They give you all these little balsa parts that you got to cut out. These are decks, and deck housing. Well, fellas, what I'll do, I'm going to use this kit as a basis. We use these as templates, and I'm going to build all the bridge arrangement, everything from scratch. Use these as templates. There's a way to get around that, and the turret's going to be very easy to make. And so, I may just go ahead and cut that deck house out and veneer it with sheet styrene or cardstock. Okay, guys, this is good stuff here. This is a hull. This is a semi-waterline. Here's the break. This is called the hopper deck. It comes up like this and goes straight ahead. It's a break in the hull. So the Fletchers came all the way across this way. And so they more or less fit in. And also you had your bulkhead up there too, which is the place of this. So this came out before the Fletcher did. And these ships came out back in 1936 and 1938. The Vincent class did. And Monogram gives you, this is a balsa pre-carved hull, but you got to use templates and everything, which gives you the instructions also in the kit. You got to cut them out, and you got to make your hull stations across here by taking your lines where your stationers in, and you take your templates and fit them on the station there, and make sure everything is sanded correctly. You go ahead and finish the sand and go ahead and assemble. And this is a very, very old kit, and they give you cardstock parts such as this right here. You look very careful, fellas. These are your templates right here. You cut these out. You put them alongside your hull of your ship to see if they are. But the bottom of it don't need to be rounded off as the keel is formed. It's straight flush right across because it's a waterline model. So this is a very great find that I found there. I'm glad that Russ sold this to me. He found this in the stash pile of Don, his secret pantry away, which was all those years. He had this kit stashed around there for all those years. And believe it or not, fellas, as old as this thing is brand new as the day it was made. This box is virtually brand new. It's pristine. That box is worth a lot of money itself. And so I made a good find there. And I'll put that over there. And the other one is the USS Shangri-La, which is actually almost like that of a fleet carrier of the Essex class. This was Franklin D. Roosevelt's carrier. This is the one that he more or less had in mind, is Shangri-La. And at this time this carrier was made, it was made right before the Tokyo raid, because the Shangri-La was an Essex type fleet flat top, and the Essex actually was in its infancy on the drawing boards by the time the Doolittle raid transpired, and all the Japs want to know what aircraft carrier it came from the Shangri-La, and it never existed. So this kit here is almost precisely as that of the USS Hobb. I'll take the box off. This kit too also in pristine, mint condition, very much. And they too give you the basic hull. And you can see, fellas, it's pretty well flat in front. You got to make a center line right there using templates. You got to carve this hull into shape, because this is all wood. Back in those days, it wasn't no such thing as glue this part to this part. They give you a hull that's pre-shaped, pre-carved, pretty much the way it's supposed to be, and at their hands leave the kit. Yours take over to make it look like an aircraft carrier. And I was kind of farting around with this thing a lot, and got your sub basic fits right here, and you got your flat top fits top here, which is your deck. It fits on like so, and you got, of course, your island fits on there. They gave you small card aircraft you got to build out of paper, which is pretty good. I always like to build a little small ones out of paper, and they work out pretty good now with the what we got nowadays in the kits. Thing about it is the scale of this is very, very small. and probably a little bigger than 1/700 scale. It's about a good 16-inch hull length. And this is one of the oldies they had back in the days, fellas. And so back in those days, there was nothing out there but balsa wood. And plastics started coming out probably about very early in the 1950s. Lindbergh came out and Monogram made their Speedy-Built kits using plastic, vacuum formed plastic and such, and they started making model kits from there on. Okay guys, this is another one here, introduction. You guys probably seen these for millions of times. This is an old Lindbergh kit. Actually, truthfully, this is an ITC kit. Ideal Toy Corporation made this back in 1953. That's when this kit came out. Actually, when ITC went out of business, Pyro, Pyro, was an old company back in the very, very early 1960s, and they bought the molds of this here kit, and they produced them for a while. Now, when the Pyro went out of business, the molds of all these old kits were dormant for many, many years, and thought by a lot of model buffs that it was actually the molds were destroyed within the passage of time, and all that time Lindbergh found them. So they revamped all these old Lindbergh molds they got from the company, and they keep digging this old stuff up like fellas I have seen since boyhood, and they produce these kits. So this is a Lindbergh Dispatch 125-foot ocean-going tug, and most of these tugs more or less used for salt water, and some are used for Great Lakes too. And they travel to the St. Lawrence Seaway out to the Atlantic Ocean. A lot of these dispatch tugs were used by the Army Corps of Engineers as YTs, which is yard tugs. Now this tug has some options too. Now I've seen on radio control forums that this kit here can be modified to radio control. With today's electronics, everything they have nowadays, these things here are a must-have just for taking out to a nice small pond somewhere. I wouldn't want to recommend in a deep pond with a lot of water because it may get swamped and sink. So this kit here, I'm not going to make a radio control project out of it. I'm just going to go ahead and build it as is as a kit, because I like tugs, because tugs got their chunky designs, which I enjoy the most. So this is down the road too, fellas. But I get a little bored and want to start building something different besides a clipper, man of war, battleship, or a carrier, or destroyer. Always go back to building this old tug. Okay, fellas, this here is nothing but a typical reboxing of an ITC kit, and inside of it, it's got the hull and the deck will rubber band together. It looks like to me that the deck from stem to stern looks like about a good 13 or 14 inches. It's big enough to put a good sized motor and some batteries in there, and so a lot of radio control buffs take these kits and make radio control subjects out of them. They sell quite reasonably well, with a few modifications here and there compared to the ordinary. I can't see any problem at all making a radio control one out of it. I'll give you another baggie here full of parts too, fellas. Right here you got your gunnel subassembly right there. Your gunnels right there, gunwales right here, as you can see, in shape. And also you got your bumper ring, your tap rail that fits on top of your bumper rail, fits on top of the gunnels. Of course you got your pilot house, you got your boat deck, and that baggie right there, and you also got another baggie full of screws, which consist of crew members, pilot house, tops, engineer skylights, stacked tops, rudder, skeg, the screw, feathers, anchor, stack tops, ship's wheels, hawse lips, hatches, with doorway hatches there inside your seatbelt structure. And we'll give you a display stand here too, fellas, which is pretty well standard with this type of kit. So you can mount this on a nice piece of finished wood board. Anybody's got this kit will find this tug modes are very delightful to put together. I haven't put one of these together in probably about around 50 years. It's my last time I ever got my hands on one of these old kits. And so these old Limburg kits, I'm happy that they're bringing up the old Pyro and ITC kits that you haven't seen the model shells in many decades. Okay, fellas, this is the grand finale right here. This is the big granddaddy. Yes, sir. I had to get this, guys. I had to get this. I may just get started on this. You never know what I'm going to do. This is a 1/72 scale Revell Gato class type submarine. Now I did some research on this on the internet. A lot of the radio control boys bought this kit so they could make radio control submarines. Convert this into radio control because there's watertight compartments that you can buy from Subcommittee. And any place that deals with model submarine running gear, it's awful pricey, guys. It's expensive. I mean, I kid you not. I've seen a watertight compartment for this kit costs around $300. And that's just for the watertight compartment. They ain't including the radio. And this kit right here retails $119. I got it for $80. So that's a pretty good buy for me. And so after buying this kit, you turn around and buy the watertight compartment for it, you're going to soak in a lot of money. And so this thing here is 52 inches long, boys. It's bigger than 4 feet. It's huge. I will make an inbox review of this kit, and I just may get started on this pretty soon. You never know what I'll do. But I saw that on top of the model shelf. So wow, man, I gotta get that, Russ. He goes, "It's all yours. How much let me have for it?" So I'll let you have for $80, right? Outdoor the tax be $84.38 out the door. Oh man, thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it, Russ. He goes, "No problem." So I got a good friend there, and he takes care of me. I take care of him too. So one back scratches the other, and everybody gets along quite well. Okay, guys, that concludes the four winter builds for the stash pile. And like I said, I will make an inbox review of this. This thing is so doggone big. I got the Arizona behind me over here, and I start fooling around this thing. I'm afraid I'll break something. So I will make an inbox review of this here kit, and it'll probably be very near in the near future, maybe next week or maybe this week. So I may get started on it. It's an easy build. It don't take much to build something like this, and so it's going to be a great challenge for weathering. Incidentally, I did a 1/72 scale Revell U-boat, class 7 class type boat, and I went that thing up to the max. It looks like a U-boat. Okay, guys, that concludes the second video for this evening. And so stay tuned for video number 15 on the USS Arizona, my trumpeter kept right behind me. We'll have a video of that by this Saturday. Should have all the railings completely finished. And all left is just the rigging and OS2U Kingfishers. And I can go ahead and mount her out and put her on a pedestal, and she's good to go. And I'll go to the next ship and get her started. Okay, guys, that concludes this evening's video right here. And so I figured you guys get a kick out of these old kits I got. And anybody who's got this here Gato in the stash pile, you'll understand. You guys all understand how big it is too. It's a huge kit. I kid you not, fellas, that hull is about that big around. It's big. It's big as a piece of bologna, like a big piece of bologna. Big old huge round thing, you know. It's huge. And so it's big. It's going to be 56 inches long. It's going to be big. It's over 4 feet, so it's going to be a big sub. It's miles bigger than a U-boat. Okay, guys, that concludes 4 winter builds for the stash pile. So next video will be this Saturday on the USS Arizona. It'll be video number 15. So stay tuned for that. And I'd like to thank everybody again for your wonderful comments and such. I got to get back to video 13 and start answering the video, your fellas' comments there too, because I've been too much on this thing, and working around the house kind of took me away from everything. So I got to get caught up, get concurrent. So I'm far behind. Okay, guys, this is Frankie Day signing off. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. May God bless. Make Mama happy. Please subscribe. And we'll catch you this Saturday on Video 15 on the mighty USS Arizona. Bye, boys.